I'm excited, ZP, for USA versus Chile. I want to talk about USA first. What's interesting is our last match when we saw Canada play, they tried to put Surf4 on Azaria. You have Seagull now going to probably try and run Zarya. I wonder how long they stick with that if it doesn't work.
That's a key thing that we've been seeing all throughout the week, where teams have been trying to go for a more logical team comp that tries to fill things easily. But when the pressure is on, sometimes teams will switch. Now, I do think Tailspin will be in that DPS role, and I think he's going to be pretty good at it. But you're right, we could see that switch up if the teams deem it necessary.
Yeah, and Tailspin, you look for him to probably play some Pharah. A meta that's a little bit more Pharah-friendly. Tailspin definitely can go off on that hero. And for Chile, I think this is just a great opportunity for them, right? I mean, they talked about, for their members on that White Panthers team, they're talking about in our interviews, see if they can get some sponsorships, some notoriety out of this. I think it's a big opportunity for them.
That's been a key theme for some of the regions that might be a little bit less known, is that they are looking for that. They do want to bring glory to their country and say, hey, you know what? We have an Overwatch scene too, and we're pretty good at this.
Yeah, the first map in this best of 3 series between USA and Chile will be Hanamura. I'm interested to see what we see out of Team USA. They will be on the defense first. So we have seen Seagull in the past do some unorthodox things, maybe a Bastion pick. I don't know if we expect any of that here, and it's interesting, if he wants to take one of those other heroes, who is going to fill in that off-tank role?
It'll be interesting to see who they decide to throw in that off-tank role. Again, I think USA has a good deal of flexibility in who they can swap up. And just to sort of talk about the map here, too, this is Hanamura. This is an assault point map. And I think we're going to get good ideas where these teams stand just off of the first point, because one of the most dominant things you can do as a team is hold first point here in Hanamura, which is, it's difficult to do, but not impossible.
Yeah, and you see for USA, you'll have Tailspin on Mei, so look for him to just cause a lot of chaos for Chile. They're going to have to be extremely coordinated to get through this first gate here. Now, we see so many teams get stalled out here. On the side of Chile, obviously, they can still change their composition up a little bit. Still 22 seconds left before you get into the game, but I know right now, they have a D.Va and a Winston, so you see that's a pretty dive-heavy composition, especially with a Genji and Tracer as well.
For what they're looking for here, they want Winston, Tracer, and Genji. They'll get right into the back line and sort of get away from getting split off by Mei walls. However, you take a look at how Tailspin's going to handle this. He's still going to be looking for the split on people as they run in, and will be running to the back to try and contain that. So the U.S. here, they do have a lot of good options for the defense, but take a look at Mezar. He's going for the crazy surprise charge. Not going to get it.
Yeah, and it looked like he was going to try and just surprise the Chilean team, but has to fall back. Not a good position for Mezar, and you see it's going to be Ibran. Go right by as Tracer. So already one member of Chile behind enemy lines. It's a good start for them as they try and cause pressure. It's going to be Tailspin walling off the opponents, but look at this, Shal in the back, putting a lot of pressure on Adam.
The double flankers did get to the back. It's going to be up to Gods right now to deal with it. Shal right now, though, not under a whole lot of pressure, is able to sit back here, laying the poke damage. But while this is going on, Gods picking up 2 on the other side. He's doing a good job of backline control.
Yeah, it was just such a dive-heavy comp out of this team from Chile. With the D.Va, Winston, Tracer, and Genji combination, McCree is able to go off. Gods picks up 2, shuts down the push of Chile. Now will be Team USA setting up yet again here. I'm really looking at Tailspin. If he can split off this Chilean team, can really cause some problems.
Absolutely, and the thing is, you have the flankers going in to the back line. But I'll tell you what, Seagull has great coordination with Gods, been teammates for a long time. He's going to be spot on with those shields to keep Gods alive as he continues on that back line control.
Well, it's interesting. You see, it's going to be Tracer for the side of Chile. Darting by, Ibran gets taken out by Tailspin, but because of the comp that they have, it's like some of their heroes can get over the wall, some have to wait. Tailspin able to separate them. You see D.Va's getting very low inside the point. It's going to be Tailspin with the Blizzard. Doesn't need to use it now. His teammates picking up the rest of the members of Chile. Another good hold here for USA.
And here's the scary thing here for Chile is that, as you mentioned, ultimates haven't really been used too much by the US. They are going to have a very full ult bank in just a moment here. Everything will be up and on the table. And for Chile, that means they're going to have to go for a junk rush here in a moment. Roll in, try and drain some of those US ults, build up their own in turn, and try and get through. But with only 2 minutes remaining, time is already not their friend right now, X.
Yeah, and they're changing their comp up a little bit, Chile. They're going to get a Zarya now. They're going to go with a Reinhardt and a Roadhog. So you lose all that engage. You see 2 Graviton Surges coming in. Mezar picks up 2. Gods another one. Tailspin with 1 more. It's going to be Vardock frozen there. They're just not able to take him out right away. Finally finishing him off. Shaldo still behind enemy lines with that Dragon Blade. Needs his teammates to cause a lot of commotion at that front door. Take some pressure off him. He's going to have to back up.
And here's the scary thing there for Chile is that the US still has quite a few important ults up, including the all-important sound barrier from Adam. USA is holding very strong right now. And for Chile, they're really slowly running out of time. Their best chance here will be going into Nano Boost Dragonlight. Shal is going to have to pierce the back line, take out Gods early on, and just wreak havoc. If he's not able to do that, Chile's odds here get much, much lesser as time ticks on.
Yeah, but with no mobility on the side of Chile, outside of Shal and his Genji, look, I mean, they're just going to wall off as soon as he comes over the top. Team USA able to deal with him with ease, and that's what I was worried about from this comp from Chile. No mobility, not able to get really into the back lines of Team USA, and you see USA just picking up tons of kills, EP.
And the great thing about that is that Mezar was holding on to his Earth Shatter. He knew that a Nano Boost play could be coming in. As soon as that Nano Boost person came in, he took him out immediately as Seagull just easily able to get the cleanup here. And now, right here, there's only 50 seconds left here for Chile. This is very likely going to be their last major attempt. USA on the verge of a first point hold here on Hanamura, and that would be absolutely massive.
Oh, and I mean, Tailspin has that Blizzard, and Gods has the Deadeye, so look for that kind of combination to just stall Chile out here at the door. You see Gods in a perfect position, using this high ground. As soon as Chile gets through that doorway, even if they do make through the doorway, Tailspin could use that Blizzard to stop them in their tracks. You'll see that Deadeye come in. Here it comes from Gods, gonna drop down, has two lined up, gonna get one, and he's gonna get hooked by Ubron, so it's going to be Chile trying to get through it. Back to the enemy lines. It's going to be just Roadhog. Nice hook there. Oh, beautiful Maywall from Tailspin, saving Stur's life.
You don't see that too often until you get to the higher levels, but Maze can be great at saving their teammates, and just like this, USA about to get this full hold here in Hanamura. Tailspin got a wall off the front just to be sure. Overtime slowly ticking away, and that is going to be it. USA with a great first point hold here against Chile, and now X, all they have to do to secure victory here in Hanamura is simply cap that first point.
Yeah, and it was a beautiful play by Tailspin there at the end. He was able to put that wall up, stop anyone from Chile coming in, knew that he had his teammates behind him. They were going to be able to deal with the final player. Some fantastic stuff from the side of Team USA in the first half. And what do you think Chile can do on the defensive end here, ZP, to really try and throw some things in their favor?
I think the key thing is just getting on the same page. A part where Chile was really suffering there is that even when they had people flanking in the back, their front end wasn't exactly going at the same time. The way flanks can be very effective in Overwatch is you have people in the back line, but they go in about the same time as your front, so you create a pincer. You can make things really difficult for the defending team on the offensive end, and unfortunately, their coordination wasn't there, and when they go now on the defense, they're going to need to be more on the same page, because you take a look at how USA was handling things. They were all over it. They were communicating. Seagull was right there with Zarya shields on the Gods, views and pressure. Really good stuff from USA.
Yeah, and Seagull had a fantastic first half, finishes things 16-0 on Zarya. Look for him to kind of take some of that, move it in here the second half, really get Team USA that first map win on the board. And we can see Chile coming out. They're going to have a Mei, they're going to have a Roadhog, and they're going to have the Reaper. So expecting that USA is going to go with a little bit more tank-heavy composition here.
Exactly, and just as a reminder to people as to how Hanamura works here, it's simply the way these assault maps work. You capture the point, you get a point. And because Chile was not able to capture that point, they have 0 points right now. The USA, all they have to do is get that first point, be 1-0, and we'll be going on to the next map.
Yeah, and I think Team USA, you see their comp right now, obviously with a chance to change it, but you know, it's Seagull on the Genji, Tailspin on Tracer, and then obviously Mezar on the Winston. You're going to see them dive in fast, just try and be extremely aggressive. And you know, the guys talked a little bit about on the analysis stats, you know, Chile had a tough time with that fast pace when they were scrimming Korea. So if USA can bring that in here, you expect them to take this first map, and we are underway, ZP. We'll jump on with Seagull on Genji, obviously. You've seen him do some incredible things in other tournaments, competitions with this hero. Look for him to be a big factor here for USA.
And here we go, Seagull diving right in, immediately landing some damage with the secondary fire. That's one pick up here from the USA. And one thing to keep in mind here is that you don't have to necessarily win the fight outright. The offense does have a respawn advantage. You can slowly wear down the defense. So for the US, they pick up another kill here and then get wiped. Not the biggest deal as, oh my goodness, that hook not exactly doing what is regarded. Seagull gonna get away with one there.
You were probably freaking out. As soon as you get hooked, you expected to die, and he just gets out of harm's way. And here comes the rest of Team USA. It's coming in fast. It's gonna be a kill from Seagull, one from Tailspin. Seagull doing a fantastic job staying alive, has the Dragon Blade. Reinhardt directly in front of him. He's able to take out Sir Peter now. Just Seagull diving through the opponents. Oh no, this looks like just an imminent death here for Scratch. And it's going to be Team USA getting on the point. It looks like Chile has no members coming in sight. USA should be able to take map number 1.
USA absolutely going to take map number 1 there. They got the few first pickoffs they need, and once that happens to the defense simply cannot recover. Great play coming up for Team USA, and showing that they are going to be a force here in the Overwatch World Cup.
Yeah, and it was ZP for me just how fast and aggressive this Team USA team was, right? In the second half, I mean, they just had, Chile had nothing they can answer back with it. They just came straight through at the beginning. They let the guys on Team USA just get behind enemy lines and stay alive. And that's what I really think. When Seagull got behind enemy lines is that Genji first, and they did not handle him right away. I think that's where Chile kind of lost the game.
Absolutely, and Seagull, he's a hard player to contain. We have seen it happen in the past from players like IDD, QD in previous competitions, but it requires a really high-level player to contain Seagull just because he is that good at heroes like Genji.
Yeah, and Seagull finishes the map 20-0, so pretty dominant performance from Seagull. Saw it on Zarya, and saw it on Genji in the second half, and I believe the next map will be Route 66, so we can talk a little bit about that. What do you expect to see from Chile on this map?
Well, coming in for Chile here, clearly I think if they took notes on what happened here on Hanamura, they're going to have to be more coordinated, or if they can't get that coordination with their flankers in the backline, maybe go for more of a brute force approach. All 6 of them together, not going for anything crazy, and just trying to grind down the USA defense.
And I think it's interesting, right? Chile talked about, how fast the play is and how difficult it was to keep up earlier against, South Korea and Scrim. How fast the play is and how difficult it was to keep up earlier against, South Korea and Scrims. And it's like, right there, they're able to keep it that fast pace, right? But just the coordination while playing that fast is definitely difficult for them to adjust to.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where if you're not used to where certain parts of international competition have gone, it can be a rough adjustment period. And I guess one upside here for Chile is that even if they don't come back here in Route 66, it is a long group stage. They'll be able to learn some lessons here and come back stronger. Yeah,
we didn't see it on the first map, but I definitely think this is one you could potentially see Tailspin play some Pharah on. I think Pharah definitely a very good hero on this Route 66 map, especially you're on the offensive side. The other team is set up most likely on top of that gas station. You're able to cause a lot of chaos.
And when Tailspin was at the height of his glory too, it was from playing Pharah, where he was one of the most prolific Pharahs in the game. Doesn't look like we're going to be seeing it here in the defense, but oftentimes teams when they run Pharah, they do like running it more on the attacking side rather than defense. So all hope is not lost, but hey, we're going to see some Seagull Genji again.
Yeah, and it'll be USA on the defense here to kick things off early. And what is the Genji on the defense on this map, ZP? Also with Tailspin running Tracer. What is Team USA going for here? Do you think they're just going to be extremely aggressive on the defensive side of things?
They're going to be very aggressive, and they don't want to let Chile get together as 6. They want to keep them staggering deaths. And when you have a Genji and Tracer in the backline, it can actually be hard to get full coordination going as the way you'd like to get going. So really for the US here, I think they just want to keep Chile off balance and not really let them play their game.
It'll be map number 2 here between Chile and the United States at the Overwatch World Cup. It's going to be USA up 1-0. Chile trying to get a map win on the board, trying to just build some confidence as this group stages moves on. And you see Brown going to be running the Hanzo here. I love Hanzo to try and break in, and with no Reinhardt on the side of USA, he can do a ton of damage, but before he can get that working, Seagull flies in, takes out 2, and you see the defensive approach here for USA. They are going to get up and in Chile's face.
Seagull just absolutely relentless, coming in there with the Swift Strike, doing all sorts of damage to the Chile team, has brought himself already up to 60% ult charge, and that's a problem here, which means that he's very likely to have Dragon Blade in the next fight. So already USA in a great position here, and Chile, they're gonna have to deal with this in some form or fashion, because right now their best way of dealing with Seagull is landing a Roadhog hook, but other than that, Seagull's pretty much free to do whatever he wants.
Well, all right, ZP, let's say you were the coach of Chile. What would you like to do comp-wise against this defensive setup that USA is going?
I would run a Winston immediately just because of expecting this from Genji, but here we go, next one underway. That Dragon Blade is gonna be coming out at Seagull, going to the back, picks up 1, looking for more, gonna be a double kill for Seagull. Just no answer from Chile as he picks up the 3rd.
Yeah, I think Chile definitely needs to think about changing their comp up, slow things down a little bit, in the heat of the moment, right? You just got to take a deep breath, step back, and it's like, all right, guys, like, what do we need to change up? What's not working? Let's take a deep look at their comp and find out how we can take advantage of it. And you see Chile has not switched over to a Winston, something we'd like them to see. Right now, though, it's USA on the defensive side of things, putting up a very good first half here on Route 66. See a Graviton Surge coming in, everybody diving on Chile for Team USA. It's going to be Adam picking up 1, Seagull with another. See Seagull with another Dragon Blade, gonna bring it out. Gonna just dive on the Zarya in the back. It's going to be Roar Scratch just trying to stay alive. Blanco's going to fall at the hands of Seagull, and Seagull's gonna fall back, get some health from the rest of his teammates, and it's another good hold for USA.
That was Gods with the party invite that no one wants to accept. A beautiful Graviton Surge catching Chile off guard, and really just all of USA diving in there, getting the fall through, and you take a look at this next fight, you're going to have Primal Rage on deck here for Mezar. Tailspin with the Pulse Bomb. Chile, they do have more ults in their bank here, and Rorschach will have the potential to set his team up here with the Graviton. See how it goes.
And if you're Chile, you got to get something out of this push. It's going to be Shaw with 3 kills with the Death Blossom. Nice play. That's going to be Chile finally getting something going on the offensive end, pushing straight through, using those ults to great effect.
The big part there was the nano boost in the Death Blossom. Did catch USA off guard, but the good part for USA is that they're holding so far forward is that they will have another opportunity to defend here before the payload reaches its next destination. And you take a look at their ults coming out. It's going to be a relatively ult-free fight, at least to start things out here. But Earthshatter is the X factor here for Chile, so we'll see if Sir Petter is going to be able to land that Earthshatter as the US comes in to defend.
Yeah, and he's just going to have to really make good use of this Reinhardt ultimate. Has a few players directly in front of him, but needs to be patient when using it. Needs to actually knock down 2-3 players so the rest of his teammates can come through, and he's actually going to knock down Messer. Nice play there. And now it's going to be 2 kills in advantage of Chile. Shaw pushing forward yet again on this Reaper. It's been very effective since he's gone over to it. Chile's gotten some things going.
They absolutely have it. And Sir Petter, his Earthshatter effectively led to the death of both Gods there and Mezar, so taking down both his opposing tanks, opening up opportunities here for Chile as they fight to stay alive here on Route 66, because X, if they didn't do that, it'd be very hard for them to win this.
Yeah, and Adam was actually hiding out for Team USA up top, just trying to build that sound barrier on Lucio, and he finally gets it. You see Shao, though, going to get nano boosted with another Death Blossom. He's going to be put to sleep as Team USA is trying to win it here. It's going to be a Graviton coming in. And now you see Mezar just trying to stay alive. Seagull diving through opponents. It is not enough. It looks like the team of Chile going to be able to just take out the remaining members of USA and continue moving the payload.
USA has been very staggered here for the last few minutes. I think they went a little bit over aggro and trying to defend this. They could have waited a little bit long, gotten their full 6 and went in, but unfortunately they went in a little bit too crazily, got punished by the Earthshatter, and after that it was just chaining death after death, and it created an opening here for Chile to get through here, add extra time to their clock. But here's the thing, X, is that Chile is still not working at that much time. They have to be nearly flawless to get through here and get to the second point.
Yeah, now Tailspin's going to switch over to a Reaper, so a little bit of a change there for USA. On the side of Chile, you're actually going to see Yabram bring out McCree. So McCree, very good hero, obviously a long-range area here in the streets on the second point. Going to need McCree to really put down a lot of poke damage at range.
And McCree is really good at that. McCree can be dived, though, so Yibran gonna have to watch his position carefully as he switches to it. Seagull can be countered by McCree, but he's very good against McCree. And here he goes right now. Did dive into back of Chile. Has Dragon Blade at the ready. Sturt takes down Blanco, and Seagull is ready to go.
Yeah, and Seagull just using that dash to just get up, stay alive, and get to the health pack. Fantastic use there by Seagull as him and Messer just chasing the Chilean team back towards their spawn. But for Chile, they will have Sir Petter now with that Earthshatter and Blanco with that nano boost going into the next fight. So they do have some ultimate advantage.
And here's the key here. There's only 30 seconds remaining. Chile, this is their last chance. They must win this fight almost flawlessly because they'll have to win another if they want to get the second. Everything on the board here for Chile, they're going to have to make the most of it. But Seagull with that Dragon Blade could just crush their hopes right here, right now.
Yeah, and you see it's going to be Seagull flying in with that Dragon Blade, gets out of the way of the Earthshatter. Nice play there by Seagull. Just great awareness now, just using the deflect, knocking everything back at the opponent, McCree, and it is everyone dropping for Chile. It's going to be a good defensive stand from USA.
USA looked great there. Aside from the part where they were chaining deaths on first, I think they went a little bit too crazy trying to defend that, but they've still put themselves in an excellent position here, where effectively, Chile, if they want to somehow defend here, they're going to have to do it on first, which, while not unprecedented, is pretty hard in Overwatch, just because of the attacker advantage going in on Route 66, and the time USA is going to have to do this. So, for Chile, it's going to be a rough road, though not impossible.
And is there a way, ZP, that Chile can potentially slow the pace of the game down? Is there some kind of composition they can throw together that can really just kind of halt Team USA and bring it to a pace that they're a little bit more comfortable with?
I think they were getting along that road in the last game where they did swap to the McCree. McCree is definitely good at shutting down flanking options. It's definitely good at shutting down, say, Seagull if he goes in the Genji, if the McCree can play at that level, because it's a very... McCree versus Genji is on a fine line, right? Where if the McCree makes one mistake, the Genji can punish you, and a player like Seagull, it will get those punishes in, so if they do have that level of McCree play, I do think they could slow it down a bit, but it's still going to be tough.
And I think Seagull just does a fantastic job just staying alive as Genji. I mean, quite frankly, we saw it there. He dives straight through 2 players, takes him out the dash, and they're able to just get up top. Does not look like we will see potentially a Seagull Genji. Right now he is on Bastion, obviously could still switch things up. On the defensive side of things, though, we're going to see a Genji.
We will be seeing the Genji on the defensive side, but I am way more concerned with the attacking side here. This is almost nostalgic for me, thinking back to some prolific tournaments way back in the day where you would see a Bastion on Route 66. It was the old Protect the President comp where we're not going to quite see it in its old form, but we will have Mesvar looking to protect Seagull here. If he stays in this Bastion, I certainly hope he does.
Yeah, and I believe coming from the airport, I was in the car with Gods, and we were just kind of joking around about some of the comps we could potentially see at this exhibition, more fun, casual. And he was like, I have Seagull on my team. He expect him to at least play Bastion a few times, and it looks like we're going to see a damage-boosted Bastion. Reinhardt shield on the payload combination.
My body is ready. I need this in my life now.
The quick play gods have spoken. Sorry, you see Seagull just raining down bullets on top of the gas station here.
And we'll see how Chile responds. Shell can go right in, deflect right in his face, but Seagull's really comfortable playing Bastion. It's not his first rodeo with everyone's favorite optic, but he will go down the Shell. Shell does get that immediate pickup, and Chile saying, look, we're not going to die to your first Bastion push, but Ebron getting some kills in the back.
Yeah, now you got to think how long Team USA sticks with this comp, if they're fully committed to it, or maybe, 2-3 pushes. As quite frankly, I mean, they've lost a few players, but they're still moving the payload. Yeah, Chile has not gotten aggressive after they picked up those first initial kills and pushed forward. It's going to be Gods on Zarya getting on top of the gas station, getting that high ground for USA, as USA is just continuing to move the payload here. Oh, big kill there from Tailspin as the Earthshatter comes in. Seagull set up in a prime spot with Bastion, getting that damage boost, able to take out the members of Chile. And this is one that USA is continuing to keep moving.
The U.S. right now very close to the final checkpoint. If they bring it there, that's going to be it. They will win the series 2-0 over Chile. Chile now effectively on their last life. And I think a key thing here, X, is that the USA is just showing their strength across the board. They have been mechanically strong in every player, and it's really been throwing Chile back. And unfortunately for Chile, they're down Bardock. They have to win this 5-6, now 4v6 if they want to stay alive.
And you see Seagull just picking up some kills with Bastion. He's going to go tank mode, just looking for players to take out, and he's going to have two directly in front of him. Does not matter, though. He's only going to be able to pick up one right after the clock ticks. So it's going to be Team USA taking this series over Chile 2-0.
USA looked every bit as strong as we thought they would going in, and they even got in some fan-pleasing with the Bastion towards the end, although we have been seeing recently in Overwatch, just recent tournaments, all the rest of that, Bastion not always as crazy as you might think, sometimes very legitimate. Yeah,
and you saw, in the pre-match, Seagull talking about how he wanted to put on the show. Definitely did with that Bastion on Route 66. I'd love to know what analysis thinks about that USA win.
Thank you so much, Mr. X. Thank you, ZP. Guys, we have a lot to talk about here because despite these matches being short, a lot of crazy stuff happened. So let's take it all the way back to the beginning, start things out on Hanamura. And Mitch, you were calling some shots there, so what were you thinking?
No, I was just having a look over the game, essentially, because what we saw in Hanamura between these two teams, no one had to reinvent the wheel. There was nothing that was, catastrophically, different to what we usually see on this map. We started seeing May picked on Hanamura, actually going back to the Atlantic Showdown at Gamescom. It's where we first started seeing that be a strategy. Before that, teams like Complexity and the guys like Harblu would pick Torbjorn or Symmetra, and they'd try and stack all these crazy defense heroes and turret builders. But May is definitely the order of the day right now on this map. And I think we saw a few situations of exactly how. Okay, if you are a team who's maybe, sort of split or staggered as you're trying to push inside the first point, a wall's going to come up and split you into two. Now, a lot of people who watched a lot of Overwatch competitively will know this or have seen this before, but this is a good example now of the divide and conquer strategy, especially if you have maybe a flanker who's already in enemy territory and then you're trying to follow up on that damage and you get walled away. There's no way you can back up on that flanker at all. And, in this case, actually, I think there's even some clips that we saw where Shal, who wanted to try and start engaging and jump on towards USA, they had no follow-up from the rest of his team because there was a wall in the way.
Yeah, we've got some clips of the replays now, so we'll bring them up on the screen, and let's take a deeper look here, because I think we saw exactly what you're talking about. That May wall was so essential. Why worry about killing them once they're in the door if you can just shut the door to begin with?
I mean, Jason, here as well, you can sort of talk about this a little bit more. This is where Shao goes in, wall comes up, it's 1v6, even though it's in nano boost to Genji, and then Tailspin follows up with a Blizzard.
Thing is, if you're Shao in the situation, you have to be so confident in yourself to be able to pull up a 1v2, because you're not only going against Gods, who's almost McCree, who's one of the best McCrees in the US, but you're also going up against Adam, and you're also going up against Stur. So you have Lucio and Anna to really to take care of, and then Tailspin potentially chasing you away. So I would have liked to have seen maybe like a tag team partner with him, like a Winston to chime in, or maybe as what ZP was saying, was attack from both ends at the same time.
I mean, and then he were going on towards Route 66 now. Shal had a couple good moments. The thing is, right, we never really saw Chile try and counter Seagull directly with the McCree pick.
Right.
The only time we saw Gibran switch to that was when he went into the second stage. Now, he switched off Tracer to go to McCree. If anyway, that's quite a good spot for Tracer to play through because you can flank underneath going around the general store. So, you know, Seagull, there's no McCree, obviously, who deals very well with flankers, like ZP pointed out in the caster desk. So Seagull gets to do this all the time. There was no one to really answer that one out. And you can see as a result, the USA were able to push through comfortably. Bit of Bastion hijinks, Lee, but it didn't really seem like that was really what they were intending on making stick.
It's going back to release, isn't it? Beta days when the Bastion was just being used everywhere. Nobody could figure out
when he had a
how do you
shield.
get past the Reinhardt Bastion? How do you break this down? And I think that's maybe a little bit of homage towards that. That's the style that we're talking about, maybe having a little fun.
Yeah,
They had Shal on Genji, so they actually had the counter to him, which is why I saw him switch off.
Did actually get him, yeah.
The thing is, when you're the defending team as well, with how it kind of works in the game, you don't have the chance to run back to spawn and change your heroes, right? You have to play with what you have at that point. The attacking team has the luxury of that. So luckily for them, they had the Genji played by Shal to actually counter out on that one, but it came down to anytime they had the advantage, which you were talking about during the game, they wouldn't push the advantage necessarily. Like, yeah, they'd pick up a kill, but they wouldn't shove into the enemy team and finish them off. The payload, when they already lost Seagull, and I think they lost one more person, kept moving around the corner when they had the man advantage to contest it.
Yeah.
So just some small little things like that to like clean up in their play would definitely make them a way better team.
Maybe even just an awareness of like where I can take a fight or where you know you sort of have that man advantage. We were on Gibran actually, who was on top of Big Earl's, the restaurant, as USA were pushing forward. They had 3 people on the payload, and there were at least 4 of the Chilean squad there. For some reason, Gibran's not even peeking onto the payload, so there's no desire at all to start a fight or to try and stall things out. And when you only get 1 checkpoint, and then all USA has to do is just roll it a little bit further on, you're going to have a bad time holding on if you're not going to get aggressive.
Yeah, I think the grand scheme of things, I don't think anybody's surprised by that result. United States have been playing very well since they've come together. They're scrimming well, obviously invited in there. Chile clearly struggling through the scrims. They said it themselves, you know, we don't expect to win this one. We maybe have a good chance against Germany. We'll see. That's what they're looking at. So solid performance from the USA, as we'd expect from the home team.